movies. These are animated films drawn by hand or on a computer. Your question
I got that one right.
What is the name of the city that is home to Aladdin in Disney's Aladdin? Christian making a face.
This one I'm saying.
Wow, look at us getting some plot questions in round one. Okay. You would think there's a new writer or something.
Is it like fictional? Is it a fictional town?
5, 4.
I'm just gonna put
3, 2.
I got nothing.
1. Pens down.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm just putting Cable Wonders.
Foley?
McQueenie.
I don't have it.
Foley?
Is it Agrabah?
That's correct. And Guy.
Alibaba.
And that's incorrect.
Yeah.
Agrabah is correct. Ben Bateman hit it. Ben Bateman has not missed. That's right. He is a focused Bateman with a nice dinner jacket. So 2-point lead here by Bateman and Dagnino. And here's the next question here. In 80s movies, who voices the baby, Mikey, in the film Look Who's Talking? Have you ever seen that movie? Get this. The baby can think. You get it? Yeah. The baby actually thinks and can talk. That's why it's called Look Who's Talking. Sorry. 5, 4, 3.
I'm glad you still have some class left in your bones.
1. Hands down, please.
Walter Matthau.
Drew McQueenie.
That would be
Bruce Willis.
Yes, it is. Ben.
Fuck.
Bruce Willis.
Yep.
Bruce Willis.
Yep. And Dagnino.
Bruce Willis.
That's
Come on, Kalen.
All right. Barely written, but he got
$10 million for this.
So here's how it goes. If Ben Bateman hits this one, he has a perfect round.
If I miss this, I only got 3.
The bonus. So here we go, Mark. Please ask the question. Once again, this is question number 8. It is asked to the field. Each and every competitor is welcome to answer. It is a Patreon question, and it comes from a loyal supporter for a long time of the show, Jake Hammer. Give him a hand. You got to do it. You got to do what you do. Jake the Hammer. Yeah. Thank you, Jake, for supporting the show. If you
Michael
want to have
Campbell.
your name said by this golden throat, just simply look at the movie Trivia Schmoedown and select which tier is right for you. Jake wants the category of drama. Certainly no shortage of that here today. The question in the world of dramas from Jake Hammer is, in what 2001 biopic was Pablo Escobar portrayed by Cliff Curtis? So anyway, babies don't sound like Bruce Willis if they could talk, right?
You said this is for everybody?
You get it?
Is this question for everybody?
Yes!
Okay.
You knew?
What,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I got nothing.
All right, go ahead. That's first. In what 2001 biopic was Pablo Escobar portrayed by Cliff
I have a
Curtis?
guess. Probably not right.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. No.
The only
Can you
biopic
imagine
I can
babies
think of
on
from
your
around
peak
that
face?
time.
Right, he has
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please.
That's
Guys,
Frida.
pens
I said shut
down.
up.
And we
I
have
said
Bateman.
Pablo.
Correct.
I know it's not shut
Guy didn't have it. Dagnino?
Oh, that's a biopic? Fuck.
What's it?
That's what I had in that race.
Traffic, no, but it's not traffic,
Didn't have
it's
it.
something like that.
Nothing. All right, and McQueenie.
McQueenie
had it. Okay, so Guy and McQueenie have 9.
I did not think
Bateman
of that as a
6 out of 8.
biopic. My bad.
Bateman has a
I
perfect
got 3
round,
in
so he
round
gets the
1.
bonus
I'm
question.
trash.
Ben, this is just for you guys,
So
so now you don't have to
alright.
write anything down.
I'm upset by
Bateman,
that.
here you go.
Oh, Bateman's first
Who
perfect round.
directed The Frighteners? You can just tell us, Ben.
say it.
You
Now
just
I'm going.
just tell us anytime you're
Just
ready.
tell us. Peter Jackson.
1
There you
point.
go.
There you go. So
That's a
three-point
round.
lead. 3-point lead. And
That's a
Bateman
round.
is starting off strong his season
That's
6
a
here
round.
as he gets a perfect round. And that's usually what Drew McQueenie's doing, but now Bateman takes it perfect round, and we start round number 2.
curious.
Mark, how's that
It
go?
says-
In
it
round
has the
number
records
2,
next to them.
each team is going to hear 6
I'm curious
total
to see if
questions.
they're
How do we get
actually-
those
It
questions?
says
Simple.
0.
You spin
I know, but I'm
that
just saying,
wheel
like,
of
there's actual
doom,
records. I don't know if they're
fate,
gonna update that.
justice. That has 12 different
see.
categories. 10 are
Well,
movie
it's not
trivia
his the
genres,
boss.
and the last
Yeah, but
2 are
it's
opponents and spinners'
Guy and
choice. If you
McQueen
don't
himself.
like the category that your
Yeah, but
team
it's their
spun,
first
you are awarded a
team match,
mulligan,
yeah.
which is
I know.
golf for
What if-
do-over.
what if they win or
However,
lose?
if
They-
you spin
what if
opponent's
this
choice,
could go on their
you do
record?
have to be
Yeah.
stuck with whatever your
It will.
opponents select for you. Each question in round number 2 is worth 2 points. If you're not sure of the answer, ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options. One of them is right. You get a point if you get that one correct. Keep in mind, teams, stealing is legal in round number 2, and because
Yeah,
it is
Dagnino.
round number 2, the teams are allowed to confer with each other. So you have 2 competitors per team. You can talk amongst yourselves, but we do enforce the 15-second time limit. And Christian, fun for today. The wheel for today's match is sponsored by our own Schmoedown patron, John Layton. How about a hand for John out there? John-sponsored slices. You got Kevin Smith and you got 90s up there,
Who
courtesy
do you
of
reckon
John.
put action on the
we have a
wheel?
wheel slice for today's match, and that is your dear friend, Julia Roberts.
Yeah, she's
You think John Carpenter's random, or somebody one of them
her,
put
she
that on
managed
there?
to smile during a photograph and immediately left the conversation, and we will say the name
Oh,
of
it's
that
awesome.
patron who sponsored that wheel slice if Julia is landed on.
Understood. All right,
gonna
so
lie, this
with
wheel's
that,
pretty generic,
Bateman and
other than
Dagnino, you
Carpenter.
guys are in the lead right now. Would you like to spin first or go second?
I want to watch specifically Andrew Guy
You don't get to pick
walk
who
over to the
spins.
wheel so I can watch his dreams crumble.
You're not allowed to pick who spins, but you are deferring.
He's gonna let
matches
McQueen
last
eat
year and didn't
it.
win
It is
any
going to be
awards,
McQueen who
But
spins.
that's not how it works.
McQueen's just letting the kids fight as he
That's
walks
right.
to the wheel.
McQueen,
Do you
a
enjoy
good,
talking?
I enjoy winning awards.
good family guy. There we go.
Here's the spin.
That's
The
a
Williams
good
went, ah, shit, what did I get?
Godfather. You know, the Godfather
So,
is going to be
good
looking for
spin.
90s.
confident stroke from the Godfather. Now, again, if he hits Julia Roberts, then we get to say the
Yeah,
name
they
of the
put the 80s
patron,
on
and
the
Christian's
wheel.
going to get very excited.
Patron was on Julia Roberts.
Christian, this is coming around awful fast.
Oscars?
And
It could go to
this could be 90s.
90s.
That is a Patreon slice.
Oh.
They're going to take it.
McQueen's like, hey,
Here we go,
guy,
gentlemen.
we're gonna take this.
All right.
And also, Guy grew up in the
you have
90s.
6
so-
questions in the realm of 90s.
I know
Ready
you
to go.
See what we can do, guys.
Who directed American History X?
Tony K.
Correct.
Okay.
He didn't even look at the guy. That
Didn't
was
even
awesome.
ask him. Didn't
I
even
love
need
that
to.
movie.
All
Good
right.
film.
Next
movie.
question. Which
film.
famous
One of my all-time
actor
favorites.
says this line? That'll do, pig. In
James
1995.
James Cromwell.
Damn, I was gonna say that, Mike.
James Cromwell.
That's correct for 2 points.
That'll do.
All right. Next question. In
He doesn't even need the mic.
1995's
He just say it.
Friday, who plays the big worm?
Oh, shit.
The psychopathic
Fuck.
neighborhood
I always forget his
drug
name.
supply?
Tiny Lister.
That's incorrect.
McQueen knows this.
Nope.
For the steal, this is a big
That
2
would be-
points. They can get it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I always get his name wrong, Michael.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Second
I'm
one.
waiting.
In 1995's Friday,
Oh.
who plays the big worm?
They
The
have won,
psychopathic
wow.
neighborhood drug
This would be
supplier.
big if they get it.
What the I always forget his name.
5.
Couples
4.
Retreat.
His name is Cedric something.
Oh, phase on lock.
It's close.
Faison.
Faison Love.
Faison Love, come on!
Cedric.
He's a great comedian.
He was eating
So thank
Cedric
you
the
for the last
Entertainer.
I knew it wasn't Cedric the Entertainer, but I thought it was
here's-
Cedric.
That's close.
Question.
Faison Love. He's from Brooklyn.
All right. Question 4. In Home Alone, which appliance located in the basement is Kevin afraid of?
The furnace.
Yeah, the furnace.
Furnace.
The furnace.
2 points.
2 points. They're back on the right track. That's going to be a big missteal.
Doing good, they're getting
that
to 2
Bateman and
points.
Dagnino couldn't capitalize on.
Here's
Yeah,
number
I feel like
5.
that's especially like
Questions
that's
left. Here's number
McQueen's
5.
strategy.
After Robert De Niro's character becomes paranoid in Goodfellas and starts killing off his family members towards the end of the film, spoiler, which song plays when the dead bodies are being shown?
Oh,
Is it Layla?
Layla.
Layla's correct.
Yeah.
Got me on my knees, Layla.
And
Yeah, Matt
here
goes
we go.
songs.
Final
Nice.
question here, guys.
I
Final
didn't give Billy
Here we
Canadian.
go. Who played reporter Gail Weathers in 1996's Scream?
Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox.
2 points. All right.
Look at McWeenie. He's like, all right, I trust you actually know this. We don't even have to do I'll let you do it.
Answer these questions, Christian.
10 out of 12.
The 90s, pretty
Didn't
Yeah,
stack
that's all.
one, and there was no steal
that's
taken,
good.
so they have a 7-point
That
lead
wasn't
now as Dagnino and Bateman are up to spin.
All right, gentlemen, give it a nice gentle spin from the wheel, not the peg. I want to invoke
And I can probably
Christian.
time this out, would have been a multiple choice option. So even if they like multiple choice, unless they see phase on lock.
Who wore the white tuck? No. Go back. Bateman.
Nice spin.
What are we saying? That's not a good spin?
No, it's fine.
That's a great spin. It's going
That
around.
was
It's going
fun.
around.
It's going around.
It's actually a lot better than the last couple spins we've seen.
In the muscles.
Crime movies.
This could be big for Dagnino. Sports. But does Bateman want it?
Dagnino will want to
He got
take
whacked
it.
with spikes last time he
Dagnino
played against
wants
Makuga.
We're gonna see who feels
Plus,
confident in
Ben
that
loves
category.
Warrior.
Wait, that
Does
noise.
Dagnino, you know he wants it. Bateman, maybe not
I
so
don't think
much.
Dagnino wants it. I think Dagnino has told him to spin again because Dagnino hit that against Makuga.
Okay, so
Galecki's got it
I
out.
think there's nothing
There's the
else
spin.
that they would
There's the
probably
spin.
be scared.
Spin is
Not gonna
in.
lie,
Spin
this is
is
actually a
in.
good spin
You see
for
Mark
being
Riley
as
on the
weak
side
as it
here
is.
looking, encouraging his team.
Okay, it's going to go past opponent's choice, so they're safe there.
No, they're
This
good.
could be new releases.
Oscar?
It is. It is new
New
releases.
release. Oh, it's new release.
New releases. Okay, so now
Yeah,
new
I'm cool with
releases, and Bateman.
They're gonna
and
get, like, at
Danilo
least 10.
gear up to try
I'm
to
thinking.
take the lead here or tie. They just don't want to be
What does
down.
new releases
That's interesting.
constitute? Like, what are we talking? 17,
We are
18?
Last 2 years, it's
that new
stupid.
releases is the
Stupid.
last 12 to 18 months.
18 months?
But that is not a
That's
hard
all I'm
and fast
asking
law.
for. Thank you.
You are welcome. And your first question of a slate of 6.
Last
It's
12
just
months, so
Possible
anything before
fallout.
12 months?
Who plays CIA assassin Walker?
Oh, Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
You guys just got Courtney Cox.
Yeah, this movie came out like 6 months ago.
It's new releases. It's the
5,
category.
4, 3, 2.
Henry Cavill.
It is in fact Henry Cavill.
No mustache. Oh, no. Mustache.
I do respect them
It
that
is, in
even
fact,
though they
Henry
know the
Cavill.
answer, they're
Number two,
talking it
Mark.
out,
Goes real
Your
good.
next
not letting
question.
Jake yell out
In
Spike
the
Lee.
2018 film Skyscraper,
conferring
highly
here.
advanced
We don't-
building that becomes the site of an intense hostage situation is named after what precious gemstone?
I have,
Emerald?
Wow, Bateman just knew that
5.
immediately.
yeah, I don't know this
4.
movie. I haven't seen it.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
The Pearl.
It is in fact the Pearl. It's also a great John
I
Stein.
was cutting it close there with that answer. Calm down,
Yeah,
man.
Three. Your next
isn't like the
question
top
is
building
bringing
like
you
some
to the
virtual
halfway
reality
point this
thing or
round.
something that's
Who
like
plays
shaped like a
Ted
ball?
Kennedy in the drama
Pearl.
Chappaquiddick?
Oh, that is
Yeah, I don't know. I know the film.
4,
Oh, is it John
is
Hamm
it Will
or
Arnett?
something?
2.
Oh yeah,
Clark.
John Hamm.
It
John
is
Hamm.
in fact
No,
Jason Clark.
Ben Bateman
That
hasn't
was
missed.
that,
Ben Bateman
John Hamm was
really carrying the team
Farouk.
right now.
How do you know that?
Yeah, but he's in it, right?
maybe.
How do you know that?
How many points
How does
you
he
score in the
know that?
first
You know,
round?
you hear me
We're
whispering
taking
in
our
his ear?
time. We're
Here we
talking
go.
about it.
Here we go.
I did say
Bringing
Matt.
my guy down for it.
Your next
I did say
question.
Matt Damon, but that's
And this
fine.
one may actually favor Dagnino's
To
background.
my credit, I did say
Which
Matt
of
Damon.
New York City's boroughs is chosen as the location of the new founding fathers of America's initial social experiment in the 2018
Yeah, it
film
has to be
The
Harlem.
First Purge?
I still haven't seen it. I'll go Harlem. Shout out
think it's
Skaliski for
5,
Based on
picking
the synopsis.
movies I haven't seen
3,
in 2018. I watched
2,
over 100.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, the Bronx, B,
Ooh.
Staten Island,
That's
C,
fair because-
Queens, or D,
Oh,
Brooklyn?
I think it's Staten Island. I think it's Staten Island. I think I remember in the
D,
trailer
Brooklyn?
That is incorrect for the steal, Guy McQueenie.
B, Staten Island?
It is Staten Island.
now. Yeah,
And they go up
I remember that from the trailer
It's a
now.
Big steal.
I just don't know New York like that.
That is a
2018, yeah.
big answer.
Was that
I
the
should've
sixth
said
question?
that. It's
All
not
right,
bad to
gentlemen.
eradicate
Back
Staten
to you.
Yeah.
Your
Nice.
penultimate
I think it was
question
4 or
in
5.
round number 2 in your category of
Here we
new
go.
releases.
Two more.
In Avengers
So add
Infinity
votes.
War,
They can have a check
Who
later.
was the first hero that we saw turn to dust after the
Bucky?
snap.
Winter Soldier.
Bucky.
It's not Loki. Winter Soldier.
5,
Bucky. Put some
4,
respect on his
Black
name.
3,
Typically.
2.
Repeat the question.
Last
In
one.
Avengers Infinity War.
That's our last
Oh,
one.
Last one.
In Avengers Infinity War, who was the first hero that we saw turn to dust after
Wow.
That's not
the
a bad
snap?
repeat though, because he's like, I know the answer. So
Yeah.
it's one of those where it's like, I know the answer. I just got to think about
3,
it.
Flipping it down.
2.
Black Panther?
That is
Correct.
incorrect for the steal.
2-point steal if they get it.
Winter Soldier, Bucky.
He knows this.
That's correct.
I think guys got it.
James Buchanan Barnes. Holy shit.
Steal here.
I'm kinda-
It's a
oh.
4-point lead, and here is our
I,
first.
is it weird that I
our
want
last
either things
question
to win,
here.
but I'm like,
Our last
it's just a
question.
weird
Multiple choice.
conflict of
No,
interest.
No, you
The
didn't.
They needed
multiple
like
choice
how
was a
about
2-point value question. And now the table has been set
They
for
wasted
Bateman and
all that
Dagnino's
repeat
last
there.
question
Oh.
in round number 2. In the world of new releases, your question is,
By the way,
what
spoiler for
NBA
Infinity War,
All-Star
oof.
player
I
stars
mean, it's
as the
been like a
titular
year.
legendary
Kyrie Irving.
street baller Uncle Drew
Kyrie.
in the 2018
Future
film
New York Knicks.
Uncle Drew?
Will Gucci get this?
Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, exactly. Kyrie Irving.
From Duke,
Darn
now
right.
playing for
He
the
said
Celtics,
John
it is
Carlos.
Kyrie Irving.
Look at this. It is
Carlos
2
Dan.
point
Pretty sure we're looking for
Now,
Esposito.
Guy and McQueenie as we get into round number 3.
Might be top 10 worst answers
This
ever
is,
said.
this is everything that look. You have all the preamble, you have all the shouting,
No, not Guillermo del Toro,
switching,
though.
But at the end of the day, you want a good match. That's what the
Yeah.
kids are doing right
So
now.
far, all right. So Mark, round number 3, set that up.
In round number 3, yes, sir, your wish is my command. In round number 3, each team is going to give us a series of numbers. We need 3 numbers
Troy,
that
this
can
is
range
a
from
long
1
match.
to 20. Each number corresponds to a different movie trivia
Because
Schmoedown
there's actual stakes.
category.
It's not just a
Here at
fun
the
exhibition.
answer desk.
Like, they
the
get to
first
pick
question
their
is worth 2 points.
stakes.
Next one, 3
Seven.
points. Last one is
Enjoy
5 points.
match.
Because this is the team division, here's how it works. We're going to tell you the category of your 2-point question.
Jordan,
And at that point, the team must decide
Drew Square
who
are
is
actually
going to
working well.
answer that question. So you may not confer with your teammate.
Is that
on
your
either
team
the
name for them?
2-point or the 3-point question. The opposite teammate's going to answer the
Drew
3-point
Square
question.
makes
Only confer with your teammate for the 5-point question.
Square makes
Should
sense.
we
I like
make it that far? Back to you, Christian.
All right, guys. So because we have McWeeny and Guy, who are now in the lead, you guys please choose 3 numbers from 1 to 20.
I think we'll go with 7, 10, and 13.
7, 10, and 13. And then for Bateman and Dagnino.
His name is
Number Drew's
We'll
keep
go
that.
3, 12,
The
17.
3, 12,
10 and 13. I don't know
17.
the
All
7.
right, so Dagnino and Bateman will be up first with category
what we can
number
do, guys.
3, which is
Modern classics. These are modern
Hey.
classics. Classic
Yeah.
movies
That's
that were made
definitely
in a more
going to
modern
be
age. Who wants to take it?
Dagnino, even though Bateman should take it.
I'm going to go ahead.
There it is.
Okay. a very
What was that
confident
conferral? He's like-
saying he's going to answer.
Modern classics, so like made in the 2000s.
All right, Mr. Dagnino.
just showing.
Dear God. All right,
That
Mr.
is a fair
Dagnino.
question. Made in the
In the world of
2000s
modern
should be what it
classics,
is.
who directed Boogie Nights?
Come on,
Really?
PTA.
It's my favorite movie. of all
He's got
time.
this.
I actually worked with Maya Rudolph the other day.
Yeah.
It's
5.
PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson.
Well, don't get right.
For 2 points!
All right, and we're tied.
And now we hit.
What if
now
you would
we
have said
hit number
PTA
7.
and they would have said,
Now we hit
we're
number
looking for the
7,
full name?
Which is going to be 90s
Might have
movies.
cried.
I was working with Maya Rudolph the other day.
That's going to be Andrew Guy. All right, Andrew Guy. In the 1994's animated The Lion
Next
King,
up to repeats.
who is the voice
Matthew
of adult
Broderick.
Oh.
Simba?
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Himself.
It's incorrect. That's the younger version. Matthew Broderick is the old adult.
Kid.
Broderick.
Oh,
James
so now we
Bond
can
with
get
that
some.
answer.
We got a Sunday.
So number 10. Now
We
we
could
go
have,
over to
like,
Bateman and Dagnino.
Still
All
15.
right,
See,
gentlemen,
Jake, that's
for
why you
your
take your time when you
3-point
answer questions.
question to
Hey, I knew it.
take a 3-point lead. This one, by default, is going to go
ain't saying
to
25th hour
the
again.
white-jacketed Ben Bateman.
Love you, buddy.
And it's from the world of the 2010s. The 2010s, and your question is, who plays the brilliant but volatile method actor Mike Shiner in the film
Yes. Jake.
Birdman?
Jake.
Edward Norton!
His favorite movie of all time, Jake.
Come on, your piece.
Fuck yes. This is the second Birdman question we've got, and both have had McQueenie in it.
1.
Edward Norton.
Yeah, sure.
Wow,
Correct.
3 points.
Hell yes.
All right. So
What are you
now
saying
we
wow
go
for? That's
to
a
cutting-
tie the game
he's
up.
cutting
What
it
he needs
so
to hit is
close.
3. If he does, it bounces back to Bateman and Dagnino, who will
Chill
try
out
to
with
answer
that
their
wow,
5.
Ellis.
3-pointer
Easy
here
question.
for Drew McWeeny. Drew Barrymore.
It's not like it won
Drew
Best Picture.
Barrymore.
Same first name, Christian.
Why is that a
Interesting to note.
category? Oof.
All right, here we go.
Jeremy,
All right.
don't write shit like that.
Who stars as Bliss Cavender, a Texas teen who transforms from
Ellen
beauty
Page.
pageant contestant to roller derby
I've actually written a Whip It
star
question,
in
so.
2009's
I
Whip It.
like the film.
Ellen Page.
I think it was under coming of age.
Drew giving me that look like he knew the
Yes.
answer long before he finished reading the question. That's how confident
So
he
a
is.
tie game we have, and now
Drew
Bateman
Guy
and
or,
Dagnino
Drew,
will
Big
try
One?
to
By the
take
way.
the lead. Try to take the lead here with their 5-pointer.
All right, and Christian, one just shudders at the
your boss
prospect
named
of
Drew.
overtime. I know the
I know.
fans want it, but my
Under the
God,
category of
it's gonna be
movies,
chaos
Tom
here.
Dagnino
It
likes.
hasn't been already. All right, gentlemen. Quick reminder. So Dagnino or Tom, whoever, Ben,
What
you
was
guys
that?
are allowed to confer for your 5-point
hand
question.
gesture.
And you chose number 17, the
Bateman's
number
like,
of Doug Williams. That corresponds
I do
up
this
here
for a living.
to fantasy science fiction.
You know, Andrew, if you want to apologize before we
Why are you
beat
talking?
you,
He's in the middle of
welcome
reading
to.
your question.
Oh my
Fantasy
god.
Game.
Sci-fi. Ben, Tom, your question is, in the film Galaxy Quest, what is the name of the mysterious device that can rearrange matter
What's
to
his
go
name?
back in time 13 seconds?
Yeah, I don't know this. I like Galaxy Quest a lot, but
5.
I
I
can't
fell
tell
in
you
love with
this.
it, but I've only
4.
seen it the once.
3.
You gotta hurry up.
They can't use a repeat.
Incorrect. Looking for Omega 13.
So now we go to Burnett and Guy. If they hit the 5, they win the game.
How funny would it be if Guy answers it without
If they
conferring
miss
to
the
get it right?
5, we go into sudden death.
Oh my God.
First round of the Civil War between.
If I'm
There's
Guy,
not a lot of pressure.
listen,
Here
if
we
I'm
go.
Guy and I
They
know this
selected
answer,
number 13
I'm
right
like,
for their
McQueenie, I got
Guys, you guys
this.
can confer.
Yeah,
Just
just rub it in.
Yeah, just to rub it in.
You have 2 repeats
Oh,
left.
God.
You have 2 repeats left. All right, here we go.
You
Category
reckon
is
Riley
Steven
would've known that?
Spielberg. Which famous actress
Drew
filmed her
shows.
final role opposite
Oh,
Richard
where'd your hit
Dreyfuss
one?
in
This is my question.
1989's Always?
Yeah, McQueenie knows this.
Comparable Audrey Hepburn.
Wow.
I don't think that's necessarily a comparable 5-pointer, but it's a good question.
Family takes it.
Robert Meyer Burnett seems to be taking a lot of credit for this win.
Andrew Guy.
Do you think their team name will just be the family?
Where they play. What
Nah,
the
I
stipulation
would
is.
assume
We're gonna
that'd
find
be the
out in
best.
the post-interview what happens with Guy and Bateman. What a battle! 30,
Unless like the faction has
25.
something to do with fire.
Is he
Then-
gonna? Do you think he'll save the stipulation now or
You don't
save
know what
it?
you're going to get. We didn't
Yeah.
know who was going to be
I
competing.
reckon.
We thought we had one slate. We got an entirely different one. But at the end of the day, Christian, what do we always want?
Wow.
We want a good,
7
clean
points
game
in
of
your
movie
debut.
trivia.
Like, that's,
That is certainly
like,
what we got.
really
Bateman
good.
and
And this-
Dagnino.
these weren't
played
exhibition
very well
questions.
together.
These were
They
actual good
complimentary. Obviously, Bateman shouldering the bulk of the load, especially in round 1.
After
having
the
a
first
perfect
question, I
match.
was like, hey,
But
we all
Tom
gonna go
Benito
8 for
coming
8
in
or
to help
what?
when he needed him. Burnett, McWeenie and Guy, just too strong.
Yeah, they fooled everybody with that one. But I feel bad for only one person.
Oh,
and
I
that's
know.
Jen Sturger.
Sorry,
She's
Jen.
going to have to deal with a circus. Here we go.
He's not wrong.
Thanks for the vote of confidence out there,
Yeah,
guys. I really
I'm looking
appreciate it.
so
I need all the
proud of
help
this.
I can get right now. Guys, I'm pretty sure you're wishing you had an Omega 13 right about now.
You know, Jen, he thinks he got to me with that win, but he doesn't realize all I wanted to do was play him in the first place.
What's up with that 0-1
So,
record down there?
I don't really have a
Bateman,
whole lot to
Dagnino.
say
I'm an
here.
idiot.
Yeah, that's what
I'm looking forward to
It's
kicking
because it was
that
right
guy's
next to
ass.
Who's the Boss that threw me
What
off
were
for
you
a
guys
second.
thinking when they pulled that switch on you before the match started?
I mean, I wanted to play the Pyro Moron, triple first name loser, you know, who burnt an iconic mask. McQueenie's a legend. He's a champion.
I mean, Myers.
To switch
not
that
necessarily
out, I had a problem with it at first, but
First
Ben
name.
calmed me down.
Myers. Yes.
You know, and we gave our heart, you know, we gave it our all, and we took him down to the last question. I knew a couple I knew.
Hey, they only
Lucky
lost by
Spider.
5 with Dagnino, so
I thought,
that's going to be
you
a
know,
good rivalry.
The commissioner, or whatever he calls himself now, counts was a little quick on the 5s. It caused us to burn all 3 of our JTE rules, which was a disaster.
Fair point.
But I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
No,
That's a
doesn't
fair
sound like
point.
it.
Write that from my notes.
It sounds like he is.
Oh, but despite that, Ben, that was one of the best matches I think I've seen you play in a while. Honestly, you played lights out despite having that, crappy steal from them in the second round that really hurt you. What is this newfound energy
Yeah,
you have
rub it
with
in.
Riley? Is that going to be carrying you guys forward into the Chicago match? Like, you guys are going to be playing in front of a sold-out crowd on April 13th. Is this going to get in your head at all?
Riley's a legend.
Not sold out
He's
yet,
on
but we're
Mount
getting
Rushmore,
there.
and I'm lucky enough to play with somebody with class, a true champion who's taught me a lot about this game.
I don't know.
There's no way I'm going to
You-
get
you
nervous
asked
on
the-
that
the
stage.
Facebook page. They're
I was
not putting
born to
Riley on
compete,
that
I was born to
Rushmore.
perform. And I was proud of my
I
performance
would,
today.
but-
Look, it was a sham of a match anyway. We knew it from
Yes,
the
the
second the
Facebook group. It's
Godfather
Rachel,
walked in.
Rachel,
we weren't supposed to win that
Rachel,
match.
and-
Everybody can
And
see
who
that.
else?
But
Ah,
it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter.
yeah.
The whole point
Maybe
here,
Cushing.
once again, is
Cushing
they
might
get to
get that
embarrass
fourth
that
spot.
clown
Oh,
guy.
shit, that's right.
And luckily,
The
they're in
Crusher
front of
up
a
Crusher.
crowd of
Rachel
people.
the Crusher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
he missed
that's-
some
Cushing,
easy
and then
questions.
the
And
intergeekdom,
Legend.
the double
So did I,
champ. The
though.
double champ.
You know, the crazy part about it is here.
Tell me.
I was, trying to become friends with Emma Fife here, and now she doesn't let this guy Drew McWeenie come in play for the for this match when I wanted to play the pyromaniac idiot. Clearly, I'm gonna have a bone to pick with her as well.
Pyromaniac.
So I'm calling something later with Harloff and Emma, and we're gonna be sitting down drinking a little bit and talking about what happened here today.
Sure, but I think that the big thing that's going to happen from this match now is obviously you've got to wait now and see what Andrew wants to do, because now he gets to choose the venue of your match and the stipulations. You aren't at all concerned about this.
He's going to put himself in the best position to shine, because that's what that guy does.
What if
The rub
Guy
is he's
picks the
going to
venue
lose
as
when he
the
puts
Houston
himself in
live
that
show or
position to
something?
shine, which
That'd be
means in
great.
the end I'm going to come out on top. As I always will when I deal with somebody of lesser power, lesser character, like him. That's really all I have to say, though. The last thing, nothing about Andrew. I'm going to dedicate this next win to Cal the Schmoedown, my man, Mark Riley.
Thanks, buddy. Tell him what you would have did in this match.
This might be one of the first recordings.
He would have
since
played
that.
better than you.
That's obvious.
Let's just put it this way: if I was
That's
playing
obvious.
in that match with Bateman, we would have both had a perfect round. I knew those questions as well, and would have pulled that Omega 13 at Love Galaxy Quest. So we're dangerous. That's the one thing that you can take away from this.
Well, tough loss today, guys, but I'm really
wink,
curious
though.
to see what Andrew's got
Riley.
in his pocket
I'm not
for
saying
this
I'm a
next
fan
match.
yet, but I like you a little bit.
I love Riley.
All right, guys,
Riley's
I'm
just
back.
so nice.
Here we go.
Sturger, hang on a second. This, my friends, did I not say this is the future? I took Dagnito's mask, I took his Modelo,
the beer
and
in his hand.
We are family, and I
took
have
his
my
Modelo.
brothers and me. We are the future. Who's the boss? Who cares?
I love McLean's
Guys,
face.
that was a pretty great match, I gotta say. When did you decide to pull the
It
switch?
just leaves.
What happened there?
Wait, whoa. Excuse me, Jessica. First of all, there was no switch. There was no switch at all, okay? That idiot interrupted me in the middle of me telling him who my manager was and who my partner was. That's what happens when you jump the gun and, make an ass of yourself, Ben. So now that I won, let's let that sink in real quick, boys. That feels good, right? Oh, of course.
You do seem to have a rejuvenated energy about you, guy.
Oh, absolutely. Because I won. And I beat a backstabber. I beat someone who betrayed me. And I get to choose.
And you were allowed in the
I
building.
get to choose the stipulations for the next match. So you know what? That guy calls Mark Riley a legend. Well, I TKO'd that legend. Let's talk about a real legend.
TKO'd you,
Booker
bitch.
T. Yeah. Booker T, baby. In Houston, in front of 700 people live.
Damn,
I'm
did I
going
just
to
call that?
embarrass you. And when I beat you, guess what?
How did you do
When
that?
I beat you,
Seriously.
you will no longer be allowed to play in the singles tournament in 2019. Oh, yeah, baby. You get to sit back and watch. Yeah, you like that,
McWeenie,
Godfather?
I do. I am
Seems
ready
like
to get some
Barry
belts
Alive.
too, and I think we took
Yeah.
Yeah,
Told you get the belts.
yeah, and he would still have the belts if he wasn't betrayed. He
How
was
is
left by
R&B
someone who
now
thought they were better
dangerous?
than him. He is the true champion, and we will be champions. So, you know what, Bateman? I'll see you in Houston, baby.
can
Oh, and
relate
if
to
you
you.
beat me, which
Yeah.
won't happen, I'm just holding your hand at this point. If you beat me, which will not happen, you can pick whatever my next match is. I don't care. You can put 3 people on one. You can have me play Merle again. You can have me do whatever you want. You pick.
McWeenie, I gotta ask you, the fans want to
That's
know, you've
interesting.
accomplished so much in this league. You're such a staple in this league. Why are you doing this?
Whoa. Have some respect. He doesn't need to answer a ridiculous question like that. You know what? We just showed you. We're out.
Interesting.
Christian, we have some Purell around here, right?
Well, how about that? Andrew Guy throwing down the hammer has challenged Ben Bateman to a May showdown in Houston in a live event in Booker
Holy
T's
shit, Christian.
Wrestling Ring. That's
Unreal.
right.
This is the
Booker
first time
T's
hearing of
Wrestling Arena will house Guy versus Bateman.
Speaking of
And
pulling
I got
the
a
trigger
surprise
too
for
soon,
you.
Christian.
Those tickets are on sale right now.
All
Because
right.
Guy
Last week.
About the SchmoedownLive.com.
But the stipulation inside of the singles match, Guy was being very
Undercut
generous.
to
Guy
beat
said
the
if
tournament.
Bateman happens to beat him, he can choose his next singles opponent.
Wow.
But if Bateman loses, Bateman will not be able to compete in this year's Ultimate Schmoedown singles tournament.
That is a hefty price to pay. You
That's a
already
pretty good
have
stipulation.
The
I like that.
incredible aura of a live crowd in Booker T's Wrestling Arena for Houston. We have that booked. We make
Is that
phone
still
calls.
gonna be in
Tickets are already on
September?
sale.
October?
SchmoedownLive.com.
Probably.
This is going to be, if you needed more of a reason, if you live in the Houston area, hell,
Yeah,
if you
what
live
if they
anywhere in
make
the
it
world,
16?
this is why you fly in for that match.
Guy and Bateman have already delivered on the promise.
I do wanna go to
Guy takes
Houston.
the first battle, and he really pulled a quick one here. He brings
Like
in
not
his
for the match
partner,
specifically,
Drew
just in general.
McWeenie, and they are now 1-0 and have put themselves now in the team division. They are 1-0.
They're officially
as they
1-0.
move
know.
up in the ranks, and now you have Guy versus Bateman in Houston.
I'm glad this.
What a battle!
So much for this being an
So much
exhibition
happening.
match.
If you
They just
wanna
threw
get
that out the window.
tickets to anything that we are doing, whether it is the free-for-all, that's right, 35 competitors going for a shot.
Nah,
if they
you said
win
it's 40,
a
liar.
shot
Make
at
up
any
your mind.
championship of their choosing. Last person standing. It
They
is
recorded
going
this
to
months
be
ago.
downtown LA at the Globe. You can get your tickets now. The Schmoedownlive.com. Chicago, April 13th. Get your tickets.
Star Wars
Obviously,
Championship. Alex
May,
Damon
and we
versus
have the
TBD.
date,
That's weird.
May 18th. Guy versus Bateman in a stipulation match in Booker T's Arena
it's that
in
one guy
Houston,
again.
Texas.
Just making
That
sure
guy.
I am in fact free for that.
TBD
That's
match
gonna
is
be
gonna
one
be
exciting
Magneto
match partner,
against
like you said,
Burnett.
Chicago, here in downtown Los Angeles.
Right.
Anywhere you
That
want to
would
go,
be kind of shitty on the
SchmoedownLive.com,
card, to be honest.
TriviaST.com, or
But an
MarkEllis.com.
undercard.
You can get tickets anywhere you
Entertaining.
want. Just make sure you're there in person. You do not want to miss it. Good match today,
And
partner.
also,
Great
what
match.
could you
Thank
do
you
with
for
that
joining us.
match, I
Thank you for
guess?
all
Riley
the
versus
patrons. If you
McWeeny?
aren't joined, please go ahead and
That's
sign
not
up.
an
Check
undercard.
it
Well,
out
we've already
today
had that.
over on Patreon.com.
Two.
Schmoedown. We have a tier there where we guarantee that
Dude,
will
fuck
fit your
it.
liking.
Fuck
Go over,
it.
check it out. Make sure
They're
you
like,
go
we're here
to
anyway,
the
so
website, TriviaST.com.
can we play?
Keep up with all the
Whatever.
rankings, the schedule. Go to the Facebook group. Check it all and check out the Schmoedown Rundown that is on this channel every single Saturday to recap all the madness that you saw. For my partner, Mark Ellis, I'm Christian Harloff. For everybody in the studio, we'll see you next time.
Could do a chill factor intro. It's a little obscure.
Godspeed.
That shining,
I can
that
get
shining
Steve
sweater. I
Ulrich,
need
but
one
I think
now.
Cuba is out of town. Hang on a second. I need a hand here.
Are we getting to see him on?
Cuba Gooding
I love
Jr.
that
yeah,
jumper.
no, there's no
That's
Cuba
what I-
Gooding
nice.
Jr. We're gonna have to.
Mr.
I'll
Fiddler,
call you back.
Put this away. I need you to understand something. You and I, we are representatives. We're diplomats, if you will, for a different kind of Schmoedown, a more respectful Schmoedown, a more academic Schmoedown, a more rigid and intellectual Schmoedown. And it is disastrous to me to see a competitor of such promise.
Oh, thank you.
Capable of bringing enlightenment and knowledge to
Oh, my.
the youth of the Schmoedown.
Thank you.
It's not all complimentary.
Oh,
To
okay.
see someone like that wasting your time on this buffoonistry, chicanery, shenaniganism.
You and me, we are the reigning film snobs here at the Schmoedown.
I don't-
And you
I
are
don't like this
feuding, you are feuding with me. You are
don't like that
feudy, and I am feud back. And together we feud, and together we will fight.
I'm attempting to have a reasonable back and forth. You are turning this into a feud, into a rivalry, into an argument.
You're dismissed.
No, that's my phrase. I say that you're dismissed.
It's my office, and it's Miss Movie's catchphrase, by the way. So get up. Get up. Get up. I'm serious. I'm serious. Go. Go.
I'm
Go.
leaving, but not
Go.
because you dismissed
Go.
me.
Go.
I'm dismissing myself.
Go.
I
Go.
dismiss myself.
He's lucky he's got tenure.
All right, Jake. So that was a fun match. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. So these promos at the beginning, it's kind of weird that we saw the promos again because we already seen them in a previous match, but it kind of just made sense. I really don't know what not the promos, but the cutscene. So I'm not really sure exactly what's up with that, but it was fun nonetheless. We saw a guy whisper over to Emma. We were like, what's that going to be? We're going to find out what that was. The promos. That's why that was in my mind. So the actual promos, the cutting back and forth, the history of Guy versus Bateman and everything going on, that was a lot of fun. Seeing the tackle, seeing them play together, and then also starting to argue and stuff. That really got me pumped up for this match. Did that really hit it for you?
It's the next big storyline of the Schmoedown, and it's one that they're really building up towards because a lot of people love action. People like Bateman and Guy, so it's one thing that it just worked out perfectly with what has happened in the past. So they set it up perfectly, and it's one where it's hard to choose a side between who do you prefer. Guy has gone the heel route, and Bateman has changed and become face with Riley. So with the setup that they did with this match, it made things interesting. And do you want to get into the whole twist with what happened with Burnett?
Yeah, I feel like we should just get right into that. So we get the intros, and everything was all fun and games. You got Dagnino and Bateman.
Burnett comes in.
It was interesting seeing them come out first, where we were like, that's interesting. And then you got Guy and Burnett, and they're doing their thing, and we're like, okay, whatever. But Guy's like, I got something I want to say. He's like, this isn't my real partner. Here's my real partner, pretty much. And then you hear the music, and you and Michael definitely have some history with that music. Which is this the first time that we?
I think it's the first time that he's actually won with that music.
Yeah.
So I think the curse is broken.
Maybe Guy has defeated the curse, but Drew McWeeny has come out. We have the official. We don't know the team yet, but the representation of the family.
Drew Squared.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. Drew Squared. If you're watching this, Drew Squared. So we get right out there, and it's just like, yep, this is going to be a bloodbath. So round one, the first question, I was like, this is actually going to be an exhibition. These questions are going to be easy. But then the questions started to go on. I'm like, nope, this is the team. This is team leagues. I don't think this is an exhibition anymore. And
props to Bateman.
Yeah,
he got the perfect round and a bonus question. First time he's ever got that. That just shows that Bateman is still studying and training and preparing. And I think McQueenie got like 4 or 5 out of 8, and I think the Guy was similar in that.
Yeah.
They got 9 at the end, so it was 9-12. So yeah, it was kind of crazy seeing McQueenie kind of step up a little, but Bateman, props to him for doing so well.
Exactly. And so Dagnito and Bateman, they decide to let they'll let them go first. They spin the wheel, and it was 90s, and they're like, "Yep, we're gonna stick with that." And
I feel like collectively between Guy and McQueenie, that would be like that's their number 1 or number 2 strength, because I mean McQueenie's just like knows decades for some reason, and 90s is, I believe, would be the decade Guy grew up with the most around that time, so they both really complement each other in that decade. And it worked out well.
Yeah. Plus, if you think of like his interest in all this stuff, like the action movies, it's 80s, 90s. So I mean, if you're gonna have a decade, 90s is going to also fill the other genres. So you're gonna have like the comedies and the crime movies. So yeah, that definitely is understandable. And they do really well. They go 10 for 12.
10 out of 12.
They didn't do a single multiple choice.
They just missed 1 2-pointer.
Yeah, they missed the one. And I did really well as well, so I think I would have got a total of 9 points out of 12. I would have got 4 without multiple choice and 1 with multiple choice. So it was a good round, and I was like, this is gonna be scary. So Dagnito and Bateman, they go and they spin the wheel and they get sports, and they're like, not a fan of that. So they spin again and they get new releases,
which is probably one of the best round 2 categories to get, as considering that the questions keep changing and for a relatively term easier than most other categories.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they did so well though, which is interesting. That I will give them credit though. They asked what I don't even know how to pronounce the name.
Chappaquiddick.
Yeah, First Purge. Like the Fallout question was easy with Henry Cavill, but I mean other than that, and even the Infinity War one was tough. You have to actually think about that specific scene because all of it happens at once. So
yeah, that's why you have to kind of remember the scene in and of itself.
It was technically easy, but it's it was deeper than most quote unquote easy questions. So there were some tough ones. Yeah, so they didn't do too well, but it's still a close match. I think it was 20 to 18?
22.
22 to 20.
It was 20 to 20. Yeah.
So
that means they only scored They got 12. It was total 9, so they only got 8 points in round 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
compared to Guy and McQueenie's.
Yeah, but I mean that's still good out of 12. So I mean that's not bad. So then we go into round 3 and go first, and the 2-pointer. They're like, I'm gonna take that Dagnito, and he was gonna confer. He's like, no, I'm gonna get that. Like obviously, but it was who directed Boogie Nights. Oof.
One of the easiest questions we've had.
Yeah.
Since
what was the name of Brad Pitt's character in Fight Club or?
That's pretty up there.
But so he actually got that. It's a tight game, and then we go over to
Guy
Drew Squared, and the question was who voiced adult Simba, and he said Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Taylor Thomas.
Yeah.
And
no, we were looking for Matthew Broderick. So
that just proves like even though Guy has had like kind of a resurgence, especially after beating Mo and Riley, he has like obvious stumps along the way. Like when he had to name the Winklevoss twins, he names Armie Hammer and Liam Hemsworth, and all he needed was Armie Hammer. Like he just sometimes screws up, and I don't know if it's just he gets in his own head or he just doesn't like know these ones or he doesn't think about it. It's really weird.
Well, he answered that one really quickly, so I really think that was him just being cocky and letting his character get in his own head. Like, if they would have lost the match, I bet you he would have mentioned that in the post match. You know what I mean? Like, he would have been like, "Yeah, I fudged that up. I should have really taken my time, or at the worst, take a repeat." Because you got McWeenie going up next. He's not going to.
And they got 2 repeats still at that point.
So yeah, that definitely should have been the case. But goes back over, and Bateman's question was.
Birdman.
Yep. What is who played Mike
Shiner
and Edward Norton? And he man, there was like 4 or 5 times in this match where he's really cutting close with that countdown.
Yeah,
and he's
like, I was just like waiting for him to, like, because he seems to be doing that more frequently. Because I know, like, when it last year, when it would be like when he had to go 3-2 at around 2, he would say it. Yep. But now he's getting to 1, which is, I mean,
he's getting to like half. It's like 1 and then like. Like, honestly,
he's doing his best.
Yeah, somebody who does, one of the fan leagues, if you're really pushing me at that, I'm like, nope, the countdown's the countdown. You're wrong. You missed the countdown, and hopefully it's round 2 and your opponent can steal because they heard you say the answer. So then we go back over to McWeenie now, and what was his question?
I cannot remember, but they got it.
But he got it, and then we go over to Dagnino and Bateman. They got their 5-pointer. So then we go back over. Oh yeah,
they didn't.
No, they didn't. Yeah, that's what
it was. Galaxy Quest.
Yeah,
Omega 13.
Yeah, I remember it just bounced back. So that was a tough one, and I was like, ooh, like that's a good question.
Yeah,
but that's a tough one. That's a solid 5-pointer. But then we go back over to Dagnino. I mean to Drew. I keep all these D's. Drew, McWeenie
double
and
D's.
Guy.
Yeah. Double D's.
Yeah, but then we got triple D over there, Dagnino. So for the sake of calling this match, so their question was, what actress co-starred with? Was it Harrison Ford?
No, it was Richard Dreyfuss, always.
Richard Dreyfuss. I couldn't remember the lead in that movie. But who co-starred with Richard Dreyfuss for their final appearance? And it's just like, that's a good question as well, but I don't think that's necessarily on par.
Is it on the same level as Omega 13?
Because the answer was Audrey Hepburn. It's like, she's a famous actress. It's her final appearance. It's a Steven Spielberg movie, regardless if it's a lower tier movie. You know what I'm saying? Those 3...
It's more of a 3-pointer than anything.
So they got it, and they got it relatively easily. And I'm surprised that wasn't brought up in the post match, but it is what it is. So Drew, they win their first match. They're 1-0 apparently, because it's not an exhibition.
They are officially 1-0.
That wasn't.
It kind of reminded me. Sorry, not to cut in, but it kind of reminded me of when Shai was played the Lions Den, aka the Dream Crushers.
Yeah. Oof.
How to them it was an exhibition match because they're not a real team, but for the Shai it was. So I feel like this is that. It's just a newer version of that, basically.
That's fair. So yeah, I didn't think about that. So we got Bateman and Dagnino's interview. They're just saying everything that you expect them to say.
They had Riley was there and all that.
I do like that he said that his next win, no matter who it is against, no matter when it is, he's gonna dedicate it to Cal Schmoedown. That was pretty sweet. It really just shows the camaraderie and the family that they've built. As a team. So I really give him respect. It's really shown that Bateman is definitely easing into the face. I still think he's more of an anti-hero because he likes to run his mouth, but he's definitely, 51-49.
He's getting better.
Yeah, 51-49. Like he's definitely he's teetering. So then we go into Drew, and it's rough. Bob Barnett is yelling a lot. And
he yelled for like 30 seconds, and then
it was a lot.
He gave the mic.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was rough. And then Guy yelling a lot, calling Jen Jessica as always. McWeenie, he said like 3 words the entire thing. I was like, man, is that?
He didn't need to speak.
Yeah, it's like, is that chance?
I think that's why McWeenie works in that team, because McWeenie just lets Guy do all the trash talk, and he's there for the trivia, which is why him and Levine work so well. But what was interesting, I think we should have mentioned, is that there were stipulations as far as the winner gets to dictate the stipulations for the next match, but in the singles.
Yeah, exactly.
And since Guy won, he said that if Bateman loses, then he will be out of the 2019 Ultimate Schmoedown Singles Tournament. But if Bateman wins, then what was it? Guy. Then he gets to choose the guy's next
match, regardless. Yeah, he said match, not just opponent. So he said it could be a 3-on-1. It could be whatever he wants. That's true. So it's like, well, interesting. That could definitely be fun.
He's really put the odds against him, though. That's the interesting thing.
Yeah, I that's going to be one of those where it's just like, Guy is either going to feed off the crowd or he's going to.
He's just really that cocky, or is that part of like what his plan is?
I really don't know. That's one of those things where it's like, Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see how that's going to play out. And like I was about to say, it's going to be in front of a live crowd. So guy's either going to feed off that energy, or he's going to focus too much on the energy and not as much on the match, and it's going to bite him in the ass. So like that could go any way. And the undercard is TBD. So definitely curious to see what's going to happen there. We joked about the reveal. Christian revealed on the Facebook page that it was Houston. He wasn't supposed to reveal yet, so we were just teasing there a little bit. So that was funny to see. But I'm excited for that. I 99% sure I'm not going to go to that because I live in by Chicago. I'm definitely going to that one, so I'm spending money there. But you never know. I want to visit Texas. That's something, and that's a match I would like to see. So we'll see what happens. Regardless, it's going to be a good one to watch on the pay-per-view because we're part of the Patreon, so we're going to see that regardless. So this one was a fun one. This is exactly what you want it to be. It was a great match, like actual trivia-wise. High scoring, 35-30. That's a fantastic team match. Like
30-25.
Oh, I wrote it wrong. Yeah, 30-25. You're right. I gave him too much credit. See, I wrote my notes too wrong.
I tell you, McQueenie's like one of the best team players, as far as I'm concerned. He's only lost in 2 team matches. He's always scored at least above like 26, 25 points. He's always consistent. He always gets. It's crazy. Like I feel like McQueenie's one of the best, and I want to see him get a belt again. Like I loved when he had the belt, and I love when he defended the belt and beat the Patriots.
I loved when he actually yelled in that reaction. Yeah, that reaction he had.
Oh, and his reactions when he wins is just the best thing I've ever seen.
What was
like
that?
One of my favorites.
Yes, yeah,
yes. Like, I love it. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, McQueenie, I love you. You're the best. And so this is good for me as far as seeing them win. I predicted this would happen. It did, and I'm happy with McQueenie and where he is. I'm interested in seeing what they do in teams next. Like, who's their next opponent?
That is exactly right. So if you made it this far into the video, you guys might see that the first half was a little sketchy. Obviously, we haven't brought it up, but Michael had to leave for work, life situation. So me and Jake just covered that. We kind of just flew into this natural. But I had some weird recording issues at the very beginning, so there's a legit chance it's going to start right at a weird point, or it's just going to have some weird edits. So that's exactly what that happened. But if you made it this far in the video, please give us a like. Subscribe to Confidential Cinema. You guys are going to notice real soon. We're one of the families. We have trivia, we have debates, we have a bunch of other side shows. Top 5 lists, some game shows that we do. We have a lot of fun over here. Go ahead and join our Facebook group, Confidential Cinema, so that you can be a part of those shows, and maybe even the league, the roster is real small with the trivia, so we'll see what happens. Probably not, but you never know. Maybe I'll like you, and you can jump in, or maybe I'll show some favoritism. So with that being said, I am Henry Confidential. That is Jake Marangoni, my team partner over on all these fan leagues. We are the other guys, because obviously I get to say that for once because Michael's not here. So we are the other guys, and I'm gonna have some fun with that. And thanks, guys. Can't wait to see some more.